Hi, my name is Ray Glassman, and I'm the founder of Tourney Pro. Welcome to our Getting Started video. During this video, we're going to show you how to build a custom youth sports tournament business in under 5 minutes. The rest of the video, we will show you how to use the back-end system to grow your business very quickly. After hosting tournaments for 16 years and hosting over 100,000 teams, I realized that the industry needed more than just a scheduling product. So we created a full platform for tournament management, including e-commerce, customer information, purchasing information, and of course, scheduling. Tourney Pro was built by tournament operators for tournament operators. So let's get started with the video. First of all, let's go to the tourneypro.com website and click on the free trial button in the upper right-hand portion of the screen. We're going to be creating a new business today called Tournament Central. When I click on Create Account, this is where you're going to be entering all the information about your business. For the purposes of this demo, I'm going to be creating a business called Tournament Central. I'm going to select the sport, basketball. I'm going to put in my name, my phone number, and my email address. I'm just going to call it tc3@tourneypro.com. Next, I'm going to put in a subdomain. This could be the URL for a current business. So I'm going to type in tournament-central. Could be just Tournament Central. But this is how people are going to find your business on the web. So under the Tourney Pro website, people can find you under tournamentcentral.tourneypro.com. That can also be mapped to tournamentcentral.com. It all depends on how you would like to be represented on the web. And then I'm going to type in a password, and I'm going to re-enter that password. And once I hit Create Account, I'm actually creating both the front end and back end portion of your business, consisting of a dashboard, your events. We've preloaded one event, your sales, your reports, your scheduling, users. You don't have any users yet. And then all the settings about the system. And these settings can all be modified to match your brand. On the front end, if you click on the globe in the upper right-hand corner, so this is defaulting to the About Us page, and obviously there's some things on this page you'd like to change, like the Tourney Pro logo, maybe the descriptions and so forth. We start you out with stock photos of some championship basketball teams. You can also look at your events. We preloaded one event that doesn't have a logo yet. We set up one location, which just happens to be the ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex. Your schedule, as well as standings. And in standings, we've preloaded all the teams that play in the Tourney Pro network. The way Tourney Pro looks at a basketball season, we look at it as a collection of tournaments. So if somebody plays with you one tournament and then they play against again the next weekend, we like to show them the record across multiple tournaments. And there's several advantages to that. One is teams can see their record for the entire season, and we model this all against the ESPN NBA website. And they can look at the various wins for the weekend. You can see, if I sort on that, you can see who the teams were that were undefeated. The teams that have played the most this season, what's their record? Their winning percentage, their points per game, opponents' points per game, point differential, streak. Who's on the longest streak? Let's see. There's a team that's on an 8-game winning streak. In the last 10, that team is 8-2. And then we also show the fall, spring, and summer sessions. And right now we're just looking at 6th grade teams, both genders, but you could also look at just boys and sort in any of those manners. Okay, let's jump right in. When I said you look at events, let's go in and actually change this event and modify some things about the back-end system. You'll notice down at the bottom it says things like copyright Tourney Pro, so we'll want to change that. So let's go in. First of all, let's choose the branding for your system. So I'm going to go into what's called our theme builder, and you can see you're set up with our standard theme, but I want to go with this orange theme here. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to apply that. Also want to go in and change some of the images. So one of the first things I want to change is swap out the Tourney Pro image. And here I'm going to go with the Tournament Central logo. And then the favicon, that's the little icon that appears in the upper left-hand corner of a browser window. So you'll see right now it's set to a trophy. I'd like that to be a basketball. And then if somebody bookmarks your application on a mobile device, what image would you like them to see? So I'm going to grab the main image for our company. So once I've changed those images, again, I can go back over to Tourney Pro, to the Tournament Central website, do a quick refresh. You'll see the logo changed. The favicon changed on the browser. But let's change a few more things quickly. I'm going to go into settings. And what we have is we have something called statics. Now, static is static text. So here's your copyright. I'm going to change that quickly to Tournament Central. And I'm actually going to copy and paste that because I want to change that in a couple of different areas. So you can see when you email someone, you want it to say best wishes, Tourney Pro. Maybe you want that to say best wishes, Tournament Central. We've made that change. I can come over to locations. It says Tourney Pro events are held at the area's best venues. Again, let's change that to Tournament Central. Save that. Most importantly, let's jump over to the About Us page. I'm going to get rid of the Tourney Pro logo. I'm going to select my company logo. And then I'm going to come down and enter some information about us. So I can say Tournament Central tournaments are the most popular events in the country. Let's say we hosted 10,000 teams last year. You could put in your Twitter and Instagram accounts. I can come down, and this is all free form. Whatever you want to put in this area, you could say the Tournament Central organizes the absolute best tournaments in the country. If you wanted to add some logos or a flyer, you could do that here. But I'm just going to change this image quickly, or this information quickly. Again, jump back. Let's see what our About Us looks like. So we're starting to build our website the way we want it to look. It already has our phone number and our email address. But now when I come over to events, I want to start adding events. Obviously, this doesn't have a logo. I'd like to add a few more events. So let's go into the backend system and let's look at events. So when you come in, we preloaded one event without a logo. And this is just some text about the event. Here you see it's published. Under League and Series, you can see this is a single day event. In Tourney Pro, you can create a single day event, multi-day, a league, or what's called a series or circuit, which is a collection of events. And I'm going to create one of those very quickly as well. But let's just start out creating and changing a logo. If I wanted to change the logo for this event, I can go to my drive, choose a logo. I can crop it if I need to. If I want to change the price to $179, I can do that. I can say it's guaranteed 2 games. Come down to the bottom. Let's see. It's being held at that facility. It's for 1st through 8th grade. Everything looks good. I save that. Let's see what just happened here. Here's the event. If I click on the event, here's the information about that event. So you can see the description, the contact. You might have different contacts for different events. You can come down and see a map of where that tournament's actually being played. So now we've created a good event, and once I see it live, most of the events that are created are copies of other events. So one thing we put in was the ability to come up and say, I want to create my second event. I don't want to do it from scratch, so I'm just going to create a copy of this event. And you'll see it put the words copy of in front of the name. Then I can go through and say, I want to publish this event, allow registration. Let's grab a different logo for this event. I'm going to say, I got some generic logos here, so I'm going to say, very creative. This is a basketball tournament. So I'm going to say, this is a let's call it the Tournament of Champions. So we'll say in the description, this is the Tournament of Champion event. This is going to be a 4-game event. So I'm going to say, let's change that to display games to 4. Let's change this to, I don't know, $325. And we're going to come up here and change the title. And we're going to say, we're going to say this is a multi-day event, and it's going to be the following weekend. So let's make this on the 9th and 10th of April. And then the specific days of the event. So now we've made a multi-day event. We come back. Let's see. We've got the price. Everything looks good. But the other thing is, let's make this for 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade teams as well. So we're going to include the high school teams on this weekend. Save it. Come back. Look at our events again. We've created another event, and this one is for 1st through 12th grade. I realized I did one thing. I should have changed this to a multi-day event. So again, let's go back in. We'll change that to a multi-day. This is a multi-day event, and I made that change quickly. Now, let's create one more event. So I'm going to go back and let's create one more single day event. So I'm going to copy again this event on April 2nd. We're going to create a copy. And this is Easter is on April 17th this year. So we're going to run a 1-day Easter tournament on Saturday only. So we'll put this on the 16th of April. We're going to come down. It's $179, 2 games. We'll call this the Easter Shootout. Let's see. Everything looks good. We'll save that. Make sure I published it. Yes. Come back. Now, if I look at my events, I've actually added my 3rd event. So you can see, you get a flavor for how quickly you can add events in our backend system and be ready to sell those events. So somebody simply clicks and they're ready to register. Now, one last type of event, very quickly, is what I call a series or a circuit. And this is one way to get your customers more engaged with your organization and playing with you on a more regular basis. Let's just change that title. I don't think we changed it to the Easter Shootout, so let's change that. Okay, so that's been corrected. Okay, the last type I want to show you is create a brand new event, but I'm just going to copy the first event because I don't do anything from scratch. So let's copy this event. Now, what we're going to create is we're going to create what I'm going to call the April series. And it's going to be a series of all the events that we just created. So I'm going to say that's a series, or you could call it a series or a circuit. I'm going to publish this. Can't do the math fast enough, but we're going to say, okay, we're going to give you 2 single-day events and 1 multi-day 4-game event. So you're going to be getting 8 games. And let's just say for those 8 games, we're going to be charging you $499. That's quite a deal. So we're going to call this the April series. And this is a series of youth basketball tournaments. Boys and girls, we're going to say that you're going to get 8 games. Come down. Everything looks good. Got to include our 9th, 10th, 11th, and high school divisions. Save that. And now underneath league and series, here's where you come in and you say, okay, I'm creating a container that's going to run from April 2nd through April 16th. And our software knows that during those dates, it will only show you the events that you have scheduled during those dates. So we're going to grab the 3 events, add those, and hit save. Now, what you've done is you've created a series or a circuit. So if I refresh this, here's your series. And if I click on that, if somebody registers for this event, they're actually registering for these 3 events. So when they go to check out, again, they're registering for 3 events at one time. Okay, so in a short period of time, what I've showed you is how to create a custom website. You've created your About Us page. You've got your events. And now you need a customer. If you come over and look at your users, you don't have any users yet. You don't have any customers. But I have an account and I manage 4 teams called the Crusaders, and I play in other Tourney Pro events. So as soon as I start to browse your website, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to log in. So at One Day Shootouts, here's my website. I log in and I start to browse your website in your events. Well, if you notice, if I refresh this page, as soon as somebody starts to browse your website, all of a sudden now they're listed as one of your customers or one of your prospects because I haven't purchased anything yet. But I can come up here, and when I click on an event, this is pretty creative. Since I'm logged in, it shows me the teams that I already have in my team database. If I come up to teams, this is my account that I own outside of Tournament Central. This is something that I created with another Tourney Pro account, played in their tournaments. So it has a list of my teams, and I can look at that in a couple of different ways. Here's my teams. Here's the information about each particular team, the grade, the gender, the competitive level, who the head coach is, who the assistant coach is, what type of team it is. So these follow me everywhere I go. Again, once I'm logged in, I can come down and I can shop the Tournament Central website. If I want to register my teams for the Easter Shootout, I can simply come down and select the teams that I want to register. So I can say, let's have the 1st grade, the 4th grade, and the 6th grade team all play. But I remembered that my 6th grade coach has something going on that morning, so this team must start after 1 p.m. So I can put that in the notes. Now, when I add that to the cart, you'll see here's the shopping cart, the event, and you can see the 3 teams. I can click on this and see the competitive level of those teams and if they have any notes. I can also come over and just hit checkout. There's a couple of different ways that somebody can pay for the registration. They can use what's called an internal credit balance. Now, I haven't explained that yet, but each customer has an internal, what I call wallet or a credit balance. So if they ever have to cancel an event with you, you can say, do you want a refund or can I put it on your internal credit balance? And that's an easy way not to process multiple refunds all the time. Well, since this is the first time I'm playing here, I don't have a credit balance with this account. Since credit card credentials haven't been set up yet, I don't see the credit card, but I can come down and certain customers, you can allow them to pay by check or e-check. Now, we don't do that for everyone. I wouldn't suggest that for everyone. But if you have a customer that you trust, maybe a school district, somebody that wants to pay by check, surely they can come down and click on the check, proceed to checkout, pay with the check, and they've entered your event. Let's go in to look at your scheduling now. Here's your Easter Shootout. If I click on that, you'll see that you have 3 teams in your backlog. And the backlog are simply teams that have registered. And you can see this one has a red mark by it. That means that they entered some type of a comment. So if I click on comments here, I can see the comments for each team. And this says must start after 1 o'clock. So then what I would do is before the event, I'd come over and just say, just as a reminder, I want to go into notes and restrictions. And there's a time restriction here. Now we predefine some of the time frames that people ask for, but you can also set up a custom time frame. But this must start after 1 o'clock, so I'm going to put them in the afternoon so that they play their games between 1:30 and 3:30, and I'll set that reminder to make sure that I schedule them accordingly. Then when it's time to actually schedule the event, if I had 50 or 60 teams in my backlog, I simply move them over to the left-hand side of the screen, it automatically creates the divisions. You can create more divisions. You can create pools within divisions. You can rename the divisions, but it's giving you a head start on putting your tournament together. Then you create your matchups and your schedule. So in a short period of time, I've showed you how to create a production website. This is live. All you have to do is go into your back end, go to your payment settings, type in your PayPal credentials, NMI or Stripe. Once we have that information, your website is set up to take credit cards and people can check out, and you're running a production business in a very short period of time. So thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, please give us a call at 224-764-1392, or you can email us at info@tourneypro.com. I invite you to visit tourneypro.com, create your own trial, and build your custom youth sports business in just a matter of minutes. Thank you again for watching the video.